Right, okay, we're back. Well, welcome back to the channel, people. As you can see, we're in great spirits here. Absolutely fantastic spirits. Kojo don't want to show his face, and neither does Yusuf. They both don't want to show their faces. However, you can see my beautiful faces. But listen, obviously, Man United, as you can see by the time, well, I'm not even saying it, but you guys know what happened. Europa League disaster. Manchester United lose to Villarreal on penalties. There's a lot to unpack. Join us because it's going to be very therapy for me. I know, obviously, Kojo and Yusuf were just on the show, so they might be a bit more relaxed than me, but I'm still absolutely livid. Like, I'm so angry. Like, I'm angry more than anything. Like, I feel like when we lost to Spurs, this is what I feel like. But obviously, the Spurs lost it was for 3 points. This was for a trophy. It's like such a long season. And then you come to the final hurdle and Mans have bottled it, basically. They fully bottled it. But look, we're going to get into it. Like I said, we're going to break it down. Obviously, make sure you drop a like. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. As always, make sure you show love to, the boys are trying to continue to grow the channel. Without further ado, my co-host / homie, Kojo, is in the building. Kojo, what are you saying, brother?
I'm all right. I'm still burning. I'm not gonna lie. I've tried to play it cool today, especially at work. But I didn't even like the kids that usually come to me and say hello. I didn't even say hello to them back. But no hard, no lying. I just said, listen, I'm going to the office. Enjoy your day. Been one of them days, man. But we're here. We're gonna let a lot off our chest. It's gonna feel good. It's a good therapy session, and then we move. You know what I'm saying? So let's do this, man. How you doing?
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell, how am I doing? That's a good question. Oh, my God. Honest to God. This is probably the worst I felt after a night game since... probably something like since the Burnley lost. Like, generally. Like, when we lost 2-0, like, I was at the ground as well, bloody hell, behind the net when Rodriguez scored that goal, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? We're losing 2-0 to Burnley, and basically we drew 1-1 to Spanish Burnley yesterday. It's just like, for me personally, look, we're going to get into it, but before we get into it, obviously, we've got to introduce our final guest. Homie Yusuf is in the building. What are you saying, bro? What are you saying? I can't even speak, man. How are you doing, brother? How are you doing, Yusuf? How are you?
I'm okay, man. Yeah. First and foremost, thanks a lot for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Proud to Kojo, man. Good to see you as well. Yeah, man. As Kojo said, man, this is a therapy session, man. All we can do is kind of talk it out, and then we bounce. That's all I can say, man.
Yeah, fair enough, man. Obviously, this is all Yusuf's fault because he did say we're going to lose. He was about on the preview. Yusuf is the only person to call it right. So, look, this is your chance, Yusuf, to say I told you so. So, if you want to just quickly get that down. Well, look, I don't even know where to start, man. I really don't know where to start. There's a lot to unpack, like we said. Get your comments in. Larry's saying a lot of the disrespect to Villarreal. 7th isn't 17th. Look, it's not even that. It's more the manner in which they play football, or they were expected to play football. Like, for me personally, I knew they were going to sit back. I saw the second leg against Arsenal, and when I saw that leg, obviously a lot of people that I work with, the Arsenal fans, all of them were like, man, you're not going to slap these guys 3-4-0. They're dead. The dead food. And I watched the Arsenal game because to lose and whatnot. And I just looked at it. I thought, no, what? They've got a couple of decent players there, like Carlos Bacca, and I'm a fan of his. Obviously, Jeremy Moreno scored against us. But overall, they're just negative. Like, they're a negative team. And I was expecting them to sit back. And I genuinely thought, and I suppose this is a bit of, fault of my own, I thought we'd break them down. Like, myself, Kojo, doing the watch along. It was quite evident from very early on in the game that they were going to sit back in a bank of 4, 2 banks of 4. And I was sat there thinking, you know what? I'm happy they're doing this because we will break them down eventually. We got Pogba on the pitch. We got Bruno on the pitch. We got Cavani. If anyone crosses the ball in with any bit of quality, he'll score. I was expecting Rashford to get at least 1 out of 10, not 0. Flipping, like, do you know what I mean? I thought something would happen. But let's just quickly get everyone's comments. Oh, this is fucking loser. Wow.
Wow.
Oh, but I know what? I need to start reading the comments before I put them on screen. I'm going to get caught out. I shouldn't really tell people that, but blessings to everybody. Appreciate that. Big up the man there. Shout out Darren as always, man. Make sure you go subscribe to him. As I said, the 3 subscribers of 300, I believe. show love to the homie. Is Ollie still at the wheel? Yeah, Benchy. Oh, fucking hell, Benchy. Benchy, just give me a day off, bro, man. I'm Ollie out, man. I've been Ollie out for a while now. But yeah, listen, Coach, I'm going to pass it up to you, bro. But, you know, what's your... to be honest, I don't even know what to ask because there's so much to dissect. Like, we could go through the whole team. We will do that tomorrow on the season preview, where we're going to go through every single individual player and rate their season out of 10, as well as the manager. But yeah, Coach, your thoughts on the whole situation with the game, etc.?
I think we were taught a very harsh lesson. The match can end up penalties. Me and Yusuf had a conversation about it today as well on another show. But you know, the thing for me is that it's like this. Because Usmaan, I know I don't want to bang on that drum, but you know, I was saying that it does not disrespect them too tough because.
Oh no, I know you said that, but I will still disrespect them this shit.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing, though. They're not. When I look at their team, yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I look at their team, I look at a couple of men in that team. I'm like, they will walk into this team, like no problem. Like we talk about McTominay and Fred. No,
Etienne Capoue in their team.
Yeah, they've also got João Marino. They've also got Danny Parejo, who's better than McTominay and Fred by miles. They've still got Pau Torres, who we're looking at. Rulli is a good goalkeeper and clearly better at shooting penalties than De Gea. but wait for me. At the end of the day, like I think the United fans as a whole really got a humbling experience in the sense of, and that's myself included in that as well, in the sense of that. For a long time, even though we've not been very good, when we come up against these kind of teams, there's an expectation to smack them. Roma, we dealt with them. Who did we play before Roma?
Real Sociedad, AC Milan.
Real Sociedad, we dealt with them. So, you know, we're looking at these teams and we're like, yeah, we dealt with them. And Sociedad are a better team than Villarreal. So we should be able to beat them. And on paper, yes, we should be able to beat them. But if we as fans tend to fall into this trap with this club where in the last 8 years, every time we get to a game where we feel like we should be winning, so it pushes us to the next level, they fail us and they fail themselves. And it's the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. But at the end of the day, look, for me, it's just simple. This proves without a shadow of a doubt that Ole is not going to get you over the line for these trophies that you want to win. That's as simple as it gets. I'm not even talking about Champions League and thing as well. I'm not talking about Champions League and Premier League.
Champions League.
I'm not even talking about because I said the trophies that you want to win, but you haven't won the Europa League. You got to a final, and I looked at the lineup. I was satisfied. Everyone else on the podcast was satisfied. You were satisfied. Jerry was satisfied. There was no problem there. But then comes the application of the in-game management. Your team is not breaking down. You got a goal through deflections, through a potluck shot by Rashford, it fell to Cavani, luckily onside, great, 1-1, we're in the game again. But what are you going to do to change the momentum? They're structured, they've got their 4 banks, or the 2 banks of 4, they've got Baka doing target man, so him and Moreno can do a little link up top and get their wingers going forward with them. But, so they're structured, so what are you going to do to try and change the momentum? Are you going to, Rashford's struggling on the pitch, he's not been fit for 5 months or 6 months or more anyway, he's dropped a poor performance in general, take him off. Amad Diallo can go on left foot, right foot. He's directing, go inside. Let them think about doing something different against their fullback. Move Pogba to the left wing. Why do you not keep him there? He's been a foreman on that position for loads of months at this point, and he's been effective. Why not keep him there? Bruno stank out the flipping joint. Why not bring on Juan Mata? I know Mata's aging, but he's still creative.
Quality though. Mata's quality.
He's quality. He's creative. His intelligence in game is so high, and more importantly, he started at Valencia. He's played against these kind of teams that know how to play that kind of system in Spain. You know, use him. Donny van de Beek had a very good game against Wolves. Yes, I understand Wolves are not the best team. Wolves have not been in form, but he still had a good game. Why not bring him on and try to change the momentum? None of that happened. What you did was you waited to the 101st or 3rd minute to make your first sub, and then you made your other subs for the penalty shootout. So you already done with the result. You want that doesn't look like a manager that wants to eagerly win the game. That looks like a manager that plans to stifle the opponent before we maximize what we do. And that's not how you win football games. And that worries me because he comes from the school of, so as Ferguson said in the interview with Gary Neville, if you're trying to win the game, what's the point of being structured? At this point, you need to win the game. Throw on your attackers, let them try and do something and create goals.
But that was the thing though. Like it didn't look like at any point we were trying to win the game. Like we were trying to offer something going forward, but it wasn't like there was that desire to win the game in the normal time.
Because I don't feel like we have a plan. I can honestly sit down and say Emery definitely had a plan because Bruno was covered. Greenwood was okay, but he was covered. Yeah. Cavani was forced deep. Bruno Fernandes was forced deep, and then when he got onto the ball, they made sure he made mistakes, and they were the first to every second ball. They were always active, apart from Scott McTominay. He's the only one that was all action. Everyone else, second balls, they didn't win.
I'm not getting listen. I've been flipping defending this guy so many games, right? Because the guy gets fucking criticized, so and rightly so. He's been shit. Don't get me wrong, but this is the thing with players like that. Sometimes it matters about how badly you want it. Like that could be the difference. Look at the way Scott McTominay drove with the ball. Where was Bruno? Like, I'm not just gonna pick on Bruno, but where was the other guys? How is McTominay showing up all these guys? Like, of all the people, McTominay stepped up. But look, you made a lot of good points. I think for me personally, first and foremost, right? I just want to come back to obviously the substitutions because that is something I'm pretty sure that's a lot. There's a lot of what you said that most Man United fans have got any football brain will understand and probably agree with. So I'm gonna start with the substitution because for me personally, I'm hearing a lot of excuses. Obviously, we're in a chat with Lawless, other rival fans saying, "Oh, who's he meant to bring off the bench? X, Y, Z is not good enough." Listen, it depends on. I understand that to an extent, but it depends on the game. It depends on the situation, right? And for me personally, right, there's absolutely no excuse for him to not bring Juan Mata on or Van der Beek because they're not offering anything going forward. It's not like it was an end-to-end game and you're thinking, okay, we might get done on counter because Mata hasn't got the leg to get back. And if that was the case, then no, I wouldn't be sat here saying Mata should have come on or Van der Beek should have come on because you could understand why he wouldn't do that because it makes us more susceptible to get hit on the break because obviously Mata's recovery pace is not going to be there. He ain't got the legs, yada, yada, yada. We know the drill. But to not bring Mata on, a player of that quality on the bench when you needed someone to unlock the door, and for me personally, it's an absolute disgrace, especially when Rash was playing that poor as well.
Bro, what you said about Mata, that again, like I think all three of us right now and people watching would actually forgive Ole if he actually made these kind of changes.
Oh yeah, because
if Mata and all these guys are going forward and you have maybe two men at the back and then they counter as 4 versus 2, we're gonna be upset that we could potentially concede. But I appreciate the fact that your intent was to win the game. We lost 6-1 to Man City under Sir Alex Ferguson, but we weren't mad because the fact is, regardless of where the scoreline was at whatever point, he was putting players on to try and make an impact to change the game, just like that. He was not sitting there saying, it's 4-1, so let's try and keep the scoreline low. That's not the point. You want to try and get back into the game.
But this is the thing.
3 goals in 5 minutes. Try and create something.
This is the thing, though. Everyone's sort of rebuttal to what you've just said there as well. If Oli did X, Y, and Z and we conceded, listen, I've seen some good tweets there, right? But let me just tell you this one. If Oli was the manager, Makeda wouldn't be a thing, basically. Put it that way. Makeda don't exist. I seen someone tweet, if bloody Oli was a manager, Oli would have never got substituted on in 99. He wouldn't have for Andy Cole, but that would have never happened.
David Moyes brought Januzaj.
Bro.
Anyway, it is what it is. You go to Yusuf, bro. I'll get mad again.
Yeah, Yusuf, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, very, very similar to what you guys have both said. I can't disagree with anything. The one thing that really stuck out for me was that when we got the fortuitous equalizer, within 5 minutes, what did Emery do? He took off.
He brought
Yeah, but he took off? Okay, do you know how long we took? But if there's any player who's going to be loyal to Carlos Bacca, it is Emery. Emery is his father, and he still took off a guy who won him the Europa League before, and still did it. They quickly realized that okay, we're losing grip of this game, and that's why we didn't win the game. Because at that moment, even I changed my opinion. I actually thought we have to score now, we'll win. And Bruno had that, that shot come cross.
Yeah, the one.
But he actually
Bruno. Yeah.
And Cavani but Bruno could have actually played it to Cavani.
He should have passed it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it was like a needy moment. And yeah, when you're bringing on Francis Coughlin.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, go on.
No, I was about to say, I was saying on the watch along at that exact moment, I don't know if Cody remembers, but I was saying like it's that boxing, they're on the ropes, they're clinching us. You know, we have to knock them out now. Basically, otherwise they're gonna be back in the game. And we didn't take our moment. Like they were rattled at that point. They were scared. They knew that look, Emery's done his research. The players, they probably watch Premier League football. They're not thick. They know who Man United are. They know that we've come back against every team in the league. More than anybody else. They know that. They're aware of that. When we scored that first goal, they would have thought, fuck's sake, here we go. And everyone thought, I've seen tweets, right, from people like Daniel, obviously loads of our friends. And when we scored, saying, oh, fuck's sake, here we go. It was fun while it lasted. Man United going to win this. But we just didn't kick on. Like, nothing happened. Oli didn't change the game. He didn't want to change the game. We got a flipping couple of comments here, so I'll quickly whack them up. He took Pogba. This is from an Arsenal fan, by the way, as well, just FYI. He took Pogba off of Fred. Fucking hell, man. What is that about? But how did I, honest to God, right? I can't believe that of all, like, fair enough, Bruno, right? I can understand that to an extent. How the fuck did Rashford play 120 minutes? I don't get it. He's dead. He's injured already. He's already injured. On top, he's already injured. We've played 5 games in the league, right? Leading up to this game, he's been absolutely dog shit in every game. Rashford has. He's been his form in this game, leading up to this game, has been shocking, as well as Bruno's. The only person really who's done anything of late is Mason Greenwood and Cavani. Them two other guys that scored all of our goals in the last 4 games, and he takes off one of our main goal scorers. Like, this is and I'm kind of going off topic here, but this is what it's same with international football. I'm sure a lot of people say with the Euros, it doesn't matter about ability. It's a matter when you go to cup competitions, it's about form. That's all that matters. Players that are playing on form, you play them. You don't play names in cup competitions unless you know you can rely on that person to drop you 6-7. Greenwood's on form. It doesn't matter who's the better playing ability, who's more likely to score from Rashford and Greenwood at the moment. Everyone knows the answer to that. It's not Rashford, and it's not like he was playing good as well. So, like, as soon as he took Greenwood off, we all was like, bro, he's bottled it. You can't take Greenwood off, man. He was likely to score. If anyone was going to score for us, he's the guy that scores from nothing. Rashford's not that guy. He has done it, don't get me wrong, but when he's not on form, Rashford is the worst player in the world. When he's not on form, he's shocking. He's like Martial. They can't play. Both of them can't play off form. So, for me personally, that was a huge mistake. But what are our thoughts on what is our thoughts on the bench? Like, you see, we'll come to you first and foremost, right? Players on the bench, right? Look, don't get me wrong, they're not brilliant. I'm not going to sit here and say they're brilliant. He's got options. I feel like most of us probably agree that are somewhat options. But surely this got to be assigned to the fucking board, bro. Lads, we need players. We can't be losing to Villarreal. I know Martial's not fit. If he's fit, he gets subbed on. But come on, Martial's one guy and he's not even had a good season. So, Yusuf, what are your thoughts, man? Surely this means we've got to sign some players, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why. I think that's why he waited until extra time, because the players that he had out, with the exception obviously of Maguire, who would have started, and probably Fred, it was almost as if I don't trust any of these guys more than the ones that I've already picked. And I think that's why I don't know if it was a case of he was so confident in the guys that were out there that they could actually get a goal, but it was the same methodical football. Nothing was changing. And I know, and I keep hearing this all the time, that, you can't throw in a young guy. But
why?
Amad Diallo, right? He's only 18. I don't care if he's 18 or if he's 28. He's a high IQ footballer.
Very high.
This guy it's hard to say, right? It's easy to say now, put him on, this would have happened next, and this would have happened. I don't want to do that, but I just think that you have a guy like that on the bench. As you said, Juan Mata, another high IQ footballer. You need someone to try a pass that it might not come off, but it could come off. Look, we've all played football, right? If I'm playing football and I'm defending, I want someone to just run in the same direction every time. And our forward line was all doing the same thing. And that's a big problem.
I've seen that picture of all 4 up top. What was going off, man?
That's what I mean. Someone has to do something different. And that's why, ironically, Scott McTominay, who I said on your show the day before that I didn't want him to start. He was actually doing something different for once. he was taking responsibility himself. I'll pick and drive with the ball, and they couldn't cope with him.
He was going past everyone. He's not even a technically gifted player in that sense. Like the man was skipping.
That's my point. I just think that yeah, I mean hindsight is a painful thing, and
well, it's not even hindsight, it's just fucking using your eyes and common sense, and really, let's be real, innit? We're not speaking something that is some genius. Like Ahmad gets subbed on against AC Milan, he scores within 5 minutes. Like the guy's got a goal in him. It's not like he's shit. Like flawless bro, man. Thank you for joining us, obviously. I just passed it to you. I don't even know what to say, man. I'm just struggling.
Yeah, man, innit? I think everyone, pretty much all United fans are feeling the same without like seeing what everyone had said beforehand. Obviously, caught the back end of what Yusuf was saying is there, but like, it is what it is, isn't it? I'm not like, I've spoken on this team, mainly this manager, countless times, innit? I've been on your shows in the past, and people have tried to argue me down and say it's the players, the managers. We all seen all these deficiencies in that game. We all seen his deficiencies on all the weaknesses he has and all the stuff that you've said about him, I've said about him, others have said about him. We seen in it. How does it take you to 100 minutes till you make the first sub? Why does it take you so long to do that? And then when you make the sub, to make the mistake even worse, you make the wrong subs. Remember on Fred for Greenwood, when Greenwood was like, he was our best attacker to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, Rashford was poor. Cavani was kind of bright, but even if you're going to bring on Fred and take off Greenwood, change it, make an attacking change in that. We always complain about this manager being pragmatic and being too defensive, where in a cup final, Villarreal were not attacking. They had one shot on target the whole game, and that was their goal. They was playing for penalties from the jump. Let's sit in. Yeah. So throw it forward. We chasing a goal in a European Cup final, and you got McTominay and Fred playing next to each other. Why are you playing with two holding midfielders? Why? And then you take off Pogba rather than bring on Mata or Donny, who are a little bit more creative, and you bring on Dan James. There's no space for him to run into. Where's the space? Why did you bring him on? Why? But this is Oli, though. We've seen him do this before in Premier League games in the past. We've seen him in Champions League games in the past make incorrect decisions. Now everyone who's Oli in is very quiet in that. Everyone's very quiet. For all the criticism you got, Usmaan, the criticism I received for speaking on this manager, and now we're seeing it. Like, that's why this result wasn't a shock to me in the slightest. Not a shock in the slightest, this result. Because I know what this manager is. He's not good enough. And people will say, oh, you lot have agendas. No, we've seen this. And now we've lost to Villarreal in the Europa League final. And that, right?
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I'm so embarrassed.
But people will tell you it's the players, though. And people said last season it was all about, oh, the bench isn't good enough. But now you had a bench. It was your signings on the bench. Donny's your signing. You had Tellers on the bench. You had Dan James on the bench. Yo, what were you saying, Kojo? Or are you talking to someone else?
Sorry, I'll put you on my mic for a second. Sorry.
All right. It's cool.
I was going to back up your point, because what's so annoying about the players thing is, yeah, we can talk about players being there in different regimes under LVG, under Mourinho, and then we can talk about the Glazers not backing this, that, and the other. When I always said it, when it comes to being on the pitch, I'll get at the manager if he's doing the wrong thing. I understand everything else in the back. I get it in the upstairs. I get it. We all know it. But when you're in a final and you've got the players at their disposal to do certain things, you got to use them accordingly. As I was saying to I think I said to Usmaan earlier, the lineup came out. I had no issue. But my issue again is when you got a team that's structured like that and wants to make sure that they want to make sure that they make it as difficult for you to break down so they can hit you on counters and use their target man. You got to try and use different players. We talk about our bench being weak, but Diallo is an option.
I don't even think it was weak. I think that's an excuse.
Why could Van de Beek not come on instead of Fred?
Matter, but that's what I'm saying. You brought on.
They didn't attack. They didn't attack once
for the penalty. You brought on Tuanzebe in the last minutes of the game when you can have an attacking mid player come on and use that last minute to go gung ho and say, you know what, let's see if we can claim something. I'm repeating myself, but we will forgive if you tried to win the game and you failed. That would be more acceptable than going into this game into extra time, making your subs at last second for penalty shootouts. That shows that you are satisfied to go to penalties, just like Villarreal. You're in the same boat. Literally, you're in the same boat.
Bro.
And my experience as well, Ole and Emery, the difference between them in terms of when they started their coaching career is 2 years. Look at
Is
what
that
has
actually?
done. Yeah, because they're both of them by injuries. Emery had a more terrible injury. When he got injured in that same season, he took over that team as the coach and got them promoted.
There you go.
And look at this
There
guy.
you go. And we playing like we had the inferior team in that. Like Villa, we are happy to go to penalties. That makes sense because we have the superior team in terms of the better team in that. They offered nothing going forward.
Absolutely.
It was defend and let's try and catch these men on the break. And we had all these players try something different. You said it there, Coach Joe. There's a way to go out and win games, especially cup finals and that. Like go out and try something. Bring on One Mile. You know what I'm saying earlier. Bring on Tellez earlier. Like try. You've got so many different. Go 4-4. They were playing 4-4-2. Why not go 4-4-2? Go 4-3-3. Try something. Take off Bruno, bring on Donny, or move Bruno right if you want to keep him on and play One Matter in the 10 or Donny in the 10. Play Tellez, put Greenwood and Cavani up front together, or Rashford and Cavani up front together. Do something.
This is what I mean. Everyone's saying, "Oh, you didn't have options." Fuck me, man. Like they didn't come past the halfway line, bro. It's like if you're coaching, right? Obviously, I'm not coaching. You coach as well, and you're doing attack v defense drills in training. You'd be like, bro, what are you guys doing? You're just doing the exact same shit over and over again. These ones are going to be able to see it from a mile away. And there are 2 banks of 4. We're doing the exact same pattern of play. No one's breaking the lines with the movement. We got Bruno is in no man's land. And look, people are going to criticize Bruno, and rightfully so. We'll get onto the play shortly because obviously they're culpable as well. But why is Ollie sat down? The only person he shouted at was Luke Shaw, and he barely made a mistake. That the one that you shouted at Luke Shaw for was such a minor thing. And we got Bruno playing in the wrong position for like 90% of the game, and he's not telling him, bro, get in the middle of the park, like playing number 10. Like Matt, can you imagine Matt was playing number 10? Like the creativity, like he's runs in behind. Yeah, for me personally, I'm massively frustrated, man. But listen, the question I wanted to ask you is what now, basically. Obviously, we've got a few comments here. Archie, obviously, Arsenal fan. Give a new contract to Ollie and not one rival club is scared. You know what? Should we talk about some good news? Ollie's getting a new contract.
Relax, innit? I ain't here for a long time anyway, but that might have just cut my time short.
This is what I think about that news.
and here's the thing as well, and it's kind of like they think, yeah, this is why give him a new deal based off of what? That's what I want to know. What have they seen that makes him go, he's the guy to take us forward?
He's made progress for us. We were 3rd last year, we were 2nd this year, remember?
Yeah.
Come on,
still progress.
I forgot about the progress. Yeah.
We not lost a game away from home. We got
I forgot.
Technically, we did the double because we came 2nd. That's one trophy. And we didn't lose a game away from home. That's another trophy. So we won 2 this year.
We finished above Liverpool. That's another trophy
treble.
as well.
We've done a treble, boys.
Don't forget that, innit? We finished above in it. And we got over the semi-final hump as well. We're no longer 0-4. We're 1-5 in semi-finals, innit? You know what I'm saying? We're 1-5 in semi-finals. I don't get it. Don't understand it. I've been Ollie out for the longest. Don't understand why you can back this manager, and especially after seeing that, how you can back him. Yes, like Kojo said, you can pinpoint players and criticize performances, yes, but then it's on the manager to change him. Because if these men can finish 2nd, surely there's something about him. I always say why I'm so critical of this manager is he doesn't utilize what he has to the fullest. That's my biggest criticism of him. He doesn't utilize the squad we have. Is it the best? No.
But this is another criticism. People are not even using this as a criticism, right? People are saying Ollie hasn't got like squad depth, and I can understand that to an extent. But you tell me, Flawless, right? If you've got someone who you put out in the wilderness, right, and you Van der Beek, Amad Diallo to an extent, and then all of a sudden you randomly draw them in from the wilderness for 10-minute cameos, what do you expect is going to happen? Bro, play them regularly, man. Give them more game minutes. And I'm not saying they should be starting, but I'm saying sub them on. Even if we're 3-0 up in a game, give them 15 minutes. He doesn't even sub Bruno off. Like, he'll never sub. Like, so many games that we've been in a position that, the game's done now. Give these guys minutes. Give them something, an opportunity, because they're never gonna be able to have any sort of freshness, or they're just gonna be constantly rusty. Like Van der Beek, for example. Like the fact that he didn't get subbed on and Fred got subbed on, I would leave if I was him. Like, honest to God, if I was him, I'd say no. This isn't even worth my time, man. But listen, Yusuf, let's get your thoughts on another contract, Paul Pogba. Obviously, Ollie aside, Pogba for some reason, again, why is he playing in DM? Why did he play DM yesterday? He's been playing left wing most of the season, this last 3 months, and then he's gone from left wing. He started putting Rashford in fucking left back. Like, what is that about? Like, just why? But what are your thoughts on Pogba's situation? Do you think we should keep him? Do you think it's better if we part ways for him and for the club? Where do you sit on the situation?
I'm torn, man, because obviously I'm a big Pogba fan. When he joined us as a 16-year-old kid, I used to watch him in the academy. I mean, I was like, wow, we've got a world beater on our hands here. And when he left the first time for free, I remember I was devastated when he left. And then we bring him back, and it's up and down. And now he's in the last year of his contract. But for all the abuse that he suffers, the racist abuse that he suffers, I'll always remember that image of it was the last game of the season.
Yeah,
Do you remember at Old Trafford?
That,
They were all that when Pogba wants to leave.
Man.
That's what I always think back to. That, you know what, he doesn't deserve that, because he's a nice guy, and everyone that's played with him, all his coaches never had anything bad to say about him, except for maybe Jose Mourinho, right? But that's a different story. So for me, for his own self, I think I wouldn't be mad at him. If I'm not mad at him for wanting to leave anyway, and I think for his own career, he should go and be successful somewhere else. That hurts me to say, because, as I said, I'm a huge fan of Pogba, and so yeah, for his own sake and his own career, he's been here. Is it 4 years now? 5 years in the second spell?
5, I think, maybe 5.
Yeah, and we're not any closer to winning a Premier League title. And with the recruit, I mean, I'm sure. I think people think there's like this disconnection between like in terms of transfers. Are you telling me that he's not asking the manager, are we trying to get this player, or, give me something to give me a reason to stay, basically? Do you know what I mean? So if we're trying to sign a player, I'm sure he's asking, is there any, what are our plans? And I think he's got to the point now where we saw the noise with his agent earlier in the season, and it's obvious that he wants to go, and it'll be a sad day that when he goes, but I don't blame him personally.
But he's in the same boat as Harry Kane, isn't he? Really, he's getting to that age now that he needs to be winning trophies. Like, you see a lot of fans saying, "Oh, Harry Kane needs to leave." X, Y, and Z. Yeah. I know Pogba, of course, has won somewhat, trophies, so he's not exactly in the same boat. But Pogba, for me, needs to go, man. I think we need to sell him as well. I don't want us to sell him. I love the guy. I want him to stay, but if he does not sign the contract, we have to sell him. We can't be letting him go on a free again. We can't do that, man. That's just, for me, that's not acceptable. But
I think he goes to Juventus, I think.
Yeah, well, obviously Allegri, it looks like Allegri's going back there. But Koji, what do you reckon, man? What are your thoughts on the Pogba situation? Because there was, I seen a tweet today, a report. I don't know what journalist it was, but they were saying there's not been any talks. Well, Pogba's not open talks for his contract, which I don't know what is going off. But where do you sit on the Pogba? Is it time that we just cut ties now, because he's got 1 year left, really?
Well, firstly, it's up to the club to start talks with Pogba. Pogba's not supposed to initiate the talks. They're supposed to initiate the talks to show that they wanted to stay. As for, look, I'm going to say this now. I don't hope no one's going to come and say, look, no one's bigger than the club. We know that stuff. But players play football to retire with accolades. He's not going to talk about Man United in a few years and be like, remember when we finished second place? No one cares about second place. Who even remembers second place?
Well, Rashford said it himself after the interview. It was a good interview about him, to be honest.
Yeah.
Progress, man. Kojo, stop being negative. Progress.
I know.
Man.
Next year first.
Progress. Second place is progress, isn't it?
Because we finished third last season, isn't it? So it's progress.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sixth, third, second. Yeah, hopefully first next season. Then
first next season, man. Ollie's at the wheel, man.
Yeah, exactly. And look, listen, if we do finish first, fantastic, but it ain't going to happen. For me, I don't think it's going to happen. At the end of the day, look, for me, Pogba, it's not about him deserving better. For me, it's about going to a place where you feel like I can add accolades to my career and I can compete for the biggest of trophies, because he's going to look at the club and say, the fans are not convinced by the manager. There is turmoil not even turmoil is an understatement because of the riots and everything at the club anyway concerning the owners. Bro, we fed up, man. We're fed up.
Fed up with taking L's, bro, man. Fed up with taking L's.
We're angry with the owners, and the players definitely feel that they know what's going on. They're not blind to it, and it's one of them ones where no matter what Pogba does, he can have a fantastic month. They'll still find ways to criticize him. The guy's gone from hell.
He has played well of late, so
yeah. Well, he has played well. If he has a new contract, it's going to be we're keeping this. There's going to be a certain fan base that's going to talk trash about him as per usual. And for me, it's like I'm of the attitude that if you start that nonsense, I ain't gonna stick around with you and stay around that energy. What do I need to be here for? Man stood there by himself at the end of the season one time, and fans were berating him from the stand. All that kind of stuff, it adds up. It adds up. And more importantly, we're not showing any level of progress for me, because you can talk about league positions. The only league position that matters is first place. That's what that matters. That's why, as far as I'm concerned, because you're judged on trophies at the end of your career, not league positions being second to 20th. No one talks about that. You talk about first place and first place alone. So, do I want him to stay? Absolutely. Would it be an absolute disgrace if we lost him on a free, signed him for 89 million, and then lost him on a free again? Forget about disgrace, bruv. It's a fucking disgrace. Shout out Didier Drogba. Do you know what I'm saying?
Shout out Didier.
Yes.
And
Shout out Didier.
and if we keep him, then you better get someone of quality, not even people of quality to add to this team, because this team is not 2 or 3 players away.
We got Scott McTominay, man. Relax, man.
Scott McFry, Scott McDrip. Yeah, we're not 2 or 3 players. I've said this on your platform. I said on my platform. I said I said it here. We need 8 to 9. We need more improvements in the starting 11, and that bench needs help. And more importantly, need Jesus. Need Jesus. Wait.
I thought we got good players though.
Yeah, fantastic players.
Well, I always said this. We need like 8 to 9 starters, but this team ain't good. This team is not good.
No. But here's the thing. No, Jerry, it's good enough. That team we put out though is good enough to beat Villarreal.
Oh yeah. Of course. I'm talking about. But I'm looking at first. That's what I'm looking for.
Even with the third thing though, this team again, we should have challenged this season, but we didn't. We should have challenged this season, not win. I'm not saying win. I'm not saying we should have won the league. What I'm saying is we should have challenged this season.
But why?
The squad we have is capable, because the squad is capable of challenging. It was capable.
It is.
So how was we top of the league then?
I think it is. Yeah.
But everyone said that was a false position. We all said it. No one really believed in it.
Hear what I said.
I don't agree with that. We deserve to be second, but
I didn't. No. I didn't. But no, the reason why nobody took us seriously being clear of the league is because we're the manager we had. That's why.
It's not just the manager. Let's not do that.
It was the manager from
the players as well. It's not just the manager.
It was the manager.
Bro, we can't just.
No, I'm not saying I don't believe. I'm not saying I don't believe. I believe in all the players. What I'm saying is, if we have a serious operator in charge and you're top of the league, people are that's gonna be a legitimate question. Never at one point was United winning the league a serious topic of conversation anywhere.
So when we had Jose when he was top, did people really believe it, or?
Yes, because exactly because it's Jose Mourinho. That's my point. That's my point.
We had Rojo and Jones send them.
And here's the thing: because it's Jose, we've seen him do this type of thing before, so there's some belief there. Because of the manager we have, this is why people have no faith in this guy. Rivals weren't scared. I heard that. Rivals weren't scared in the slightest about us being top of this, and that's what it is with this manager. Just the team need improving 100%. Not disputing that, but utilize what you have more. Like the Villarreal game is a prime example. We could have challenged this season for the Premier League, not win people. I'm just saying challenge, but is what it is.
No, I don't think the squad's that bad either. I think a lot of the players are playing well below par, man. Like you got players like Van de Beek. Look, I'm not saying Matt is a good player.
Usman, so what's good about this squad? People say we have a good squad, but they just go to the attack. I'll tell you. Yeah. Go on.
I think a lot.
They're just saying attacking players, bro. Like, where's the?
Yeah, but look, obviously this. Jerry, you're gonna
everyone says they have a great squad. Well. They start listing off the names: Van der Beek, Pogba, Brute. I don't hear no defenders, not one.
We didn't say the squad was perfect. We said the squad's good. We didn't say it's perfect.
How's it good? How's it? The defense is shit.
Yeah, the defense.
It is shit though. Let's be real.
The defense isn't. No. The defense is. It's not. Is the defense good? It's not shit. That's way too far. No, it's not. And who signed it? That's all. The thing is, that's where Ollie's way.
Defense isn't dead.
Defense is not shit. Shaw, Wan-Bissaka. Shaw's good. Shaw's good. He was, but he's been good this season though. That's my whole point. Is people were cutting
sell Shaw.
No, I did because Shaw hadn't been good. But what I'm saying is there's a good player in there, and we've seen it this season. So
why did you want to sell him then?
Because he wasn't good the seasons before.
Exactly.
He's had a good season.
So
but
now
he's had a good season.
Now he's good. Like, you can't just change it. And, come on, man. Let's be real, bro. come
No,
on.
sure. The thing is though, we all knew that there was a player inshore. It wasn't a technical
Bruv,
ability
he's been
issue.
here
It wasn't
6,
technical.
7 years. How
Yeah.
long
He has no. But that was the issue with him. It wasn't a technical or anything issue with him or anything like that. People were concerned about his mentality. He's turned that around. He's turned that around this season. That's what can happen.
Same with Martial as well, man.
He's turned that around. Martial's had a poor season, but I still think he's a good player.
Jerry,
wait, hold up, Osman. Poor players. Here's the thing: is poor players can have.
No, bro. I'm not saying the attackers because I agree we have great attacking options. The
Defenders I'm talking about, but that's where Ollie spent the most money. Then that's where Ollie spent the most money. So that's on him.
I've already said I don't think Ollie made those signings. I honestly don't think it was him that sanctioned those signings because
he sanctioned those signings, man. He sanctioned Maguire. He made him captain. So. That's his man.
Oh, but Maguire was the year before. Jose wanted Maguire. We can't say that's Ollie's signing.
But we didn't get him. Man. You know how you know he's his signing? Because if you didn't rate him, you don't make him captain.
Exactly, 100%.
You don't bring in a player you don't want and make him captain without your signing.
So Maguire was Jose's.
Look what he's doing with Van de Beek, bro. Look what he's doing with Van de Beek.
He wanted him, but I'm saying Ollie wanted him too.
That's not his signing.
I'm saying Ollie wanted him too.
But look at the way he's treated Van de Beek compared to look at the way he's treated Maguire.
I'm saying Ollie wanted him too. You know what I'm saying? Like that's his man.
Going back to the defense though. Going back to the defense, who's good, please? Because
like I said, sure, I like Wan-Bissaka too.
Sure, Wan-Bissaka, good players. Maguire's had a decent end to the season.
Maguire's okay.
But people, you see Maguire, people are costing Maguire. Oh yeah.
I said he's had a good end to the season. I'm not saying he's
not had a good season. Is he good? Is he good?
I think he's decent. I think you can get more out of him.
I think he's not good enough. That's not good.
He's not good enough. Not saying it is good enough. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying it's not good enough. But the overall point is that the squad is good. The things you're talking about, the squad is great. I'm not saying the squad's great. We have a good squad. A good squad to me
attacking wise,
we have. I'm saying overall with it, get more out of it. But because you're going to defend Ollie, that's why I jumped on it. I knew you'd be on here still defending Ollie like last time. You're still defending him.
I'm just saying,
you're still defending him.
Like 8 out of 10.
Still defending him. This is what I'm talking about. Go on.
Bruv, I like to analyze both players and managers. I'm not just going to bash Ollie. Bruv, players in this team, I'm sorry, the defense is not good. It's not.
Never said the defense was good.
Why are you saying, he wants to start? Bruv, you can't even stay fit. Lindelof is dead,
fit.
Bruv. Maguire
I don't like Lindelof.
Maguire's okay. Who else is there? Actual. I'm sorry, you're not good enough. Who else is there?
He's not.
Tellers, I mean, who's been impressed with Tellers? He ain't really done much.
I like Tellers. I do like.
He's been all right, but no one's been good. Just Luke Shaw probably. Like the defense is not.
Nah, Wan-Bissaka's been good, man.
He's been okay, man. Let's not forget what he's been doing.
But here's the thing, though, we're talking about. But there's two different things that we're talking about: form or their ability. And do I think a better manager gets more out of Wan-Bissaka? 100%. That's my point. Do I think a manager gets more out of a Harry Maguire? And I'm not a fan of Harry Maguire, but definitely a better manager gets more out of these players. That's my whole point.
That's the point of view.
Even a buy if he can stay fit.
We've got Pep Guardiola with these players. They're playing better. Simple as that, man.
And I'm not saying.
I'm telling you, if Pep comes, most of these players ain't playing.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Tell you that for a fact.
It's a but he to an extent, yes, but
you're saying we need 8 players. I don't think we need 4, in my opinion.
I know, man said 8. You know,
we need 4. We need 4 players.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm with Jerry on this one. I don't think
we need 8 players.
As in, not in one window, but we need to change things.
Yeah, the team, bro.
Yeah, 8 players.
Yeah, bro.
We need a centre back. We need a centre back, CDM, right wing, and a striker, probably.
For me, I need 2 centre backs, bro.
2 centre backs.
Not to Maguire. One to add to Maguire and one for the bench.
Yeah, and one on the bench.
So when you man say 8 players, you're talking about squad players.
Progressively.
Right, that's different. Right. Squad players is different. Okay, when I said 8, I thought first team. Fair enough.
No, that's impossible, man.
Yeah. That's why I was like 8 players. I'm like, you man are wilding with that. Yeah.
But look, even then, like, I think if we had 4 players that came into the first team, and the other from the current first team went onto the bench, I think we'd be okay. Like in terms of challenging, we should be challenging. Let's just say, like, obviously the players are going to challenge. We're not going to get any of these guys. I'm just throwing it out.
But sorry, just to cut you, you know when we say challenge, I don't really like that word. Like, can't we just say to win the league? Because challenges, we're bringing down the expectation, like to challenge. To win, bro.
No, of course the long-term game obviously is to win. Of course it is. But you have to get in the race first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe we can win with this manager. We can't win with this manager. That's why I'm saying challenge.
Bro,
he's not Conte.
Obviously not with Ollie, but like,
that's my point.
Conte came in and he came straight and won the league. Like,
yeah,
he didn't 100%. Say to challenge. He came to win, bro.
The reason why I'm saying I'm on the winning thing. But with Ollie, like you said, we can't win. So the best thing we can do is
That's
challenge
right.
and hope someone has an off season. That's why it's
Yeah.
challenged. This manager's lowered my expectations because I know we can't win with him.
Ron,
Even
he's
if we
not
got 8
saying that,
players.
man. He's not saying that, Ron.
Oh, come on, big run, man. Come
He's
on,
not saying that, man.
I had to put it on there. Ron, he is saying that. He said, "No, listen to."
Wait.
Look, for me personally, I still don't think the team's as bad as it's shown. I'm a strong believer of like, a manager not, some managers get more out of players than others. Like for me personally, Ollie's done well with Pogba. You'd say like he's done well with Pogba in terms of man management. He's got the best out of Shaw to an extent. You could say I don't know Rashford if you want to chuck Rashford in there in terms of his statistics, Bruno, etc. But I just think we played a better brand of football. We had more of a plan, as Cole just said. It seemed like we were lost at moments in that game. I think we see elevated performance from all the guys. Like there's been games this season that against Roma, for example, we were brilliant in that first leg. Obviously, we got the 6 goals, but I thought we were fantastic. That's what you saw Pogba and Cavani and Bruno linking up, and they looked absolutely unplayable. They looked devastating because they were close to each other and they were able to play those triangles, and we haven't seen that since. Now, that first goal that Bruno scores, how many times have we seen that goal this season? Hardly ever. Like, close interchanging of play, players running in behind, a quick 1-2, and, obviously in the back of the net. Like, things like that needs to be drilled into you, man. Like, for me personally, a lot of players are underperforming for me. Like, I think, we haven't seen the best of Rashford. Rashford's been good statistically, but he's not had a good season for me personally, performance-wise. I think he's been below par. But, Yusuf, where do you sit on the whole situation?
I'm a cut anyway, man. My
Yeah,
just dropping in to see what I go on and say bless in it. Yo,
worries,
Usmaan,
bro,
bless for having me. Kojo, big up. Jerry, big up every time.
Good one, brother.
Yusuf,
Yes,
big up, man. Yeah, bless, man.
I'll
Bless,
back
man.
the players just for flawless. I mean,
It's gotta be the Egypt, yo. Big up, yeah. Respect.
I did it, bro.
Yes, bro. Yusuf, what are your thoughts, man? Obviously, you've heard about the rest of us. Where do you sit on the whole situation?
I was just sitting back and taking it to listen to everyone what I had to say. I don't know. I feel like I'm conflicted. I feel like I agree with a lot that Jerry said. I feel like it's not. I said before, like I'm not like I'm Ali in or I'm Ali out. I think it's very to pin the blame on him for everything that happened. I just think that's it's as a fan, it's easier to put your anger towards him as if it justifies everything that happens. And I know he's the top in sort of he picks the team. I get that, but I think that he's taken this team as far as he can. This team of players, these set of players cannot win him the league. He needs help, and until he can get those, I mean, I agree with Jerry. Did you say that we need 4 players?
No, he said 8.
I said more than that because.
What? But do you mean? How many players do you think should go straight into the starting line?
Oh yeah.
4, and same question for Kojo and Usmaan as well.
We have 4 in it. We need 4 in the starting lineup.
So you think 4? Kojo, how many do you think?
4 quality players, that is, not 3.
Jerry, you think 4? You think 4 as well?
Not Dan James. Fucking 4 actual players.
I think.
Coach, read this.
I'm not single, bro. I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm not allowed.
Yes, I agree. I think we need 4 to go straight into the team. Well, I think there needs to be about 7 though coming in all together. But obviously, we're going to be lucky if we get 2 or 3. I mean, all these reports about
if we get 2 players, we're fucked for next season.
But
I'm telling you now, and I said it way back, Jerry. You know what I'm referring to. Chelsea and Liverpool are overtaking us next season. I'm not interested. I'm not listening to anything else. And if we finish above them next
bro.
season, I know it is. I know it's my opinion. I know you don't agree with that, but I'll tell you
right now. If Chelsea lose on Saturday, then what? Who's had a better season? Us, no.
So
wait.
I'm just asking the question.
Well, if they lose on Saturday, I would still argue that they've had a better season because they've lost the manager halfway through the season and they've got to the Champions League final and
I'm bottled 2 finals.
Yeah, no, but one's in the Champions League, brother.
Nah, they still lost. I don't care. You still lost.
Yeah, but we lost it for Real, brother.
If Oli lost, you'll be saying, "Oh, he bottled it."
I know, but you're asking me who's had a better season.
I'm just saying, man.
They can still win. You know that, right?
I said if he loses.
Chelsea can still. I know the City obviously heavy favourites, obviously, but I mean, anything is possible, I guess. They still have, they still got N'Golo Kante in the midfield. I mean, you've always got hope when you've got him in your team.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But listen, for me personally, look, Chelsea, there's no way. If we sign 2 players next season, the club's fucking finished, man. Especially with Oli at the fucking wheel. Lord have mercy on my soul, man. Unless it's like Declan Rice and Sancho, and then the defense is still blank. Like, what are we going to do?
Can I ask you a question quickly?
Go on.
Who would you want to replace Oli right now?
Ruben Amorim.
Antonio Conte.
What about you, Usmaan?
Fuck me. You guys don't want to know this one fucking desperately, but he's gone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna still say Ten Hag. I know he's just signed a contract, but fuck it, we're Man United. Oh, then bring Edwin van der Sar as well with you. Fucking, I'll bring them both.
Man, Donny would finally play them, won't he?
Yeah, fucking, actually get a game. Can you imagine? Okay, right. Let's just go through. Cause I don't know who that is. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. So we'll start with you first, and then why? I don't even know who it is. Who was it?
Oh, he's Sporting Lisbon's manager. So I know that.
Yeah, I've heard people raving about him, but I don't know anything about him.
Yeah, so I know that's a bit of a left field one because obviously people talk about Portuguese league and all that and blah blah. But firstly, they ain't won a league
just from fucking Norway, so Norway.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they ain't won a league in 19 years. He was there's one club that begins with a B before he went to Braga. That I don't want to butcher their name, so I'm not gonna say it. But he was there before. Went to Braga, was doing his thing there, was getting crazy results. So essentially, Sporting paid a transfer fee to get him into the club. And his first full season, he's delivered the title.
Yeah,
essentially, what United fans want is what I think he'll provide.
Does he play attacking football? That's what I want.
That is absolutely a fact. That's number one.
Bring him over.
He makes sure his players commit to attacks. That means the fullbacks go forward.
30 million release clause. What's this about? What's it about?
Yeah, that's his release clause to take him out of the club.
30 million.
£30 million, yeah.
Fuck
because he's rated that highly. He's rated that highly. Like,
is he better than Ten Hag then?
I don't know. I can't say that right now because Ten Hag's also won titles, so I can't really say that's a.
I know Ten Hag, man.
Oh, I know, and he's a great manager as well. But for me right now, I'm more of a fan of this guy just because I've seen his progression go from here to here. It was so quick, and someone said to me, it could be like Villas-Boas. He could come to England and suddenly struggle, and that is true because he's also very young as well. So he can come out of nowhere and struggle. But I'd rather take a punt on someone who, gives the football that fans want. So everyone's attacking football, possession football, committing men to the box. And then on the other hand, he makes sure that his team hardly get hit by counter-attacks. He's found a good system to find that. So if you get someone with that kind of management skill of bringing in the right players, smart signings, and make sure they work in a unit, both offensively and defensively, I reckon he'll do all right. But then again, he could be Villas-Boas part 2, so I don't know. But that's my shout anyway. All
right, fair enough. I've gone for Ten Hag in it because he's my guy and that. Ajax education, man, you can't go wrong in it. What can I say? Jerry, go on, Conte. Explain why you'd want Conte.
Simple as Prem proven. Winner in Italy twice with 2 different clubs. Mm-hmm. And he's first season he won with Chelsea and he's free right now, so just go get him, man. Like you guys are saying all these up and coming managers, I'm thinking of managers to compete with Pep and Klopp, and I want someone of pedigree. I know we tried it with Jose and Van Gaal, but let's just try it again, innit? I'm ready,
my problem with Conte is, right, this is just me, innit? Obviously I can't comment in because of course I do know who he is. I've got a few issues with him. First and foremost is the formation, right? With the formation he plays, predominantly with wing backs, you need specialists in that position. Can you imagine Wan-Bissaka? Well, I suppose
what's mad, yeah? I really think Dan James could make a good wing back.
I said that. Cody, do you remember when I said that way back? I said it, and I remember saying that. I said, listen, don't laugh at me, but I think Dan James as a wing back would be a shout, and I've said that from day dot. But that aside, don't need to talk about that. But I just think he needs specialist players to play his style of football as well as the system, and he's going to need players to come in straight away, and I just don't see our board providing that. So for me personally, that's where I fall short of Conte. I like the fact he's passionate. We fucking need someone who's going to be on the touchline. I'm tired of this fucking... Can't we just have someone to stand on the touchline and just Just be a fucking manager, man. Why do all sat down? We had Van Gaal with his bastard clipboard. He only got up to fall back down. Obviously, Jose was just toxic, anyways. But we've not had anyone on the touchline just giving orders out and shit, man. He sends out some random people. But just before I get your opinions, Yusuf, let's just get everyone's comments in. But let's have a look. He is high risk. Conte is proven. Looks like he has mafia connections too. Right, I need to read Ron's comments before I put them on because Ron's a troublemaker. Okay, anyways, let's have a look. Conte is another Jose. This is my cousin's brother chatting shit. You should be Ali out if United don't win silverware next season. Okay, fair enough. He's not said a deluded comment. Conte has left Inter. Who will sign our Deadwood now? That's a good point. And Davin saying the problem when getting a new manager is they're wrong by the Glazers. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that would be the issue with Conte. I think he needs too many specialist players to execute his system. That's my thoughts. Yusuf, what are your thoughts on Conte? And obviously then explain why you don't want to, so to speak.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't even thought about it. I was only asking the question because obviously I'm getting the general consensus that everyone is fed up of Oli, and even myself, I don't even know. It's hard to say, oh yeah, this guy could come in and change it. But I do like Jerry Sharp with Conte. But all I will say is that you said about specialist player. Would you say Victor Moses was a specialist player?
Well, no, that's a good point.
So with Wan-Bissaka, he could. I mean, as you said, yeah, a better coach could get more out of Aaron, definitely going forward.
Well, yeah, it'll be Diego Dalot, innit? That would make sense in it.
Oh yes,
yeah, because he still does.
Yeah, true.
Like if you were to get Conte, hypothetically speaking, now. Then Dalot, he'd bring Dalot back, wouldn't he? He wouldn't need to sign anyone, would he? Right wing back.
Yeah, potentially, yeah. He might do a rotational thing. Do you remember when Chelsea, they used to rotate Moses and a guy called Zappacosta?
Yeah.
David, come on.
David Zappacosta, yeah. I think he got from Roma, they bought him, I think it was.
Yeah.
Because I did read that Conte, when he left Chelsea, he wanted the United job. Did anyone else read that at the time?
I don't
Yeah, I do. I remember.
Like, I can see him coming and taking it. Don't get me wrong. It's not that. It's realistic. It could happen. Like, I'm not denying. So that Jerry Shout is probably the most realistic of the ones we've said. Because he's available, isn't he? Obviously, the ones me and Kojo said aren't really available. They're tied down to contracts. I just think for me, personally, Conte as well, the style of football as well, is it really what we want to see? Like, I don't know. Like what?
As long as we win, I don't care about winning. Football is what I care about. I don't care.
I suppose we've almost become desperate now, innit? But I don't want to go down that route, which, like I was under Jose, I was desperate as well. What's happened here? Jerry's switch. Yeah, under Jose as well, I had that position where I was a bit desperate as well. I just wanted us to get results, so I didn't really give a shit how the game about. And I was like, yeah, just get Jose in. I know he doesn't play great football, but I just don't want to be stuck with a manager that just plays dead football. And the thing with him is, there's absolutely no longevity with Conte at all. Like. And I'm not saying it's easy to get longevity in this day and age, but a lot of times he just has a bust up with the flip someone. Like he just left Inter Milan. I know they haven't got funds, but he's just randomly left because like he thinks fuck that, I ain't even a waste of my time. Like
their situation is a bit peak. They ain't got money, so and he's like, no, if you're doing that, forget about it.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, there's a lot of love for Conte in the chat. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see how that pans out. Obviously, Poch is technically not available, but he is available, Kojo. What are your thoughts on that one? Do you think he's going Spurs?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. More and more as time's gone by, I've always thought he's destined to go back to Spurs at some point anyway. Him and Levy have some sort of like proper
bromance.
Yeah, like a proper bromance. And I genuinely actually do believe that Levy does regret sacking him. I think Levy has now come to the
point.
Well, yeah.
Captain Obvious.
It's a Captain Obvious thing, but he went down the route that we did to an extent. Our route was City got Pep, so we must get Jose. Just to, big name for big name. That's what we went down. Whereas he went for Pep. Jose is a big name, is a money maker, proven trophy winner. So Spurs need something, and then you get to a final, you sack him anyway. Fucking idiot. I think with Pochettino, I think it'll be key. I would love him at the club at United, obviously, but I think it'll be key at Spurs just because I think this time round, considering what he did for the club, he might actually get a lot more control in terms of.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's one of them like you gotta be. Yeah, you don't appreciate what you have until it's gone, sort of thing. And then now they're like, we need to make sure we look after this guy, and they're gonna. It would be interesting for him to go back. Another name, obviously, I don't think anyone's gonna agree with this one, but Yusuf, I'll ask you. Sari is available as well, technically. What are your thoughts on him? He plays good football. He likes a lot of cigarettes. Is he the kind of guy that you like to see at United, or do you think it just doesn't fit the bill?
On Sarri, actually, he's probably the most disrespected manager in world football. If you think of he won the Europa League for Chelsea, am I right?
Yes,
and then he won the league with Juventus, and they didn't like him. Then they've now lost the league, so it's like.
Did he not win the FA Cup as well with Chelsea? I feel like he did. He won 2 trophies. I know you won the Europa League and left after he slapped.
Let me check that. I remember them being. I think they got to a final. No, wait, is that not seen when they got to the League Cup final and Kepa was having his tantrum?
No, I know, but did they not win it? Because I'm sure they won that penalty shootout with Aretha.
No, they definitely lost that penalty shootout.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, and then they would have lost that. Must have been to Man City, innit? But
they lost in the League Cup, yeah. Chelsea, right?
Probably to Man City.
Yeah.
Yeah, League up. Only Europa League with them, but still, that's fine.
Still decent. I think with the sort of like with the Contes and the Sarris, I think you made the really good point, Usmaan, about longevity. That I mean, Conte has a bust up at every. It's like Jose, isn't it? They just fall out with the board and I think at United, whilst the Glazers are in charge, they want a yes man and bring it back to Solskjaer.
Conte's not a yes man.
Exactly. Yeah. No. You're 100%. You're right. And I think Jose. I guarantee you that he probably thought, you know what, I'll go to United, and then eventually they'll listen to me because I'm Jose Mourinho. But ultimately, they were like, they couldn't even listen to him when he wanted those players that wouldn't. As Kojo said the other day, and he's so right that he got the second and was not backed.
Yeah, he wanted out to Vero, didn't he? And he was available. And they said no.
Oh yeah. Do you know what's funny?
26 million, man.
Anyway, Maguire, who could have come for 5 million, pay 75 plus extra.
Was it 5 million? No, I didn't know that.
It's actually, oh my god, this club. Do you know that sometimes I don't even want to hear these stories about the club? That imagine all the things that we know, right? Imagine all the things we don't actually know that are probably terrifying.
And Kojo, what about this one? Jardim, obviously highly sought out as well. Monaco's done a good job there.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm still a bit unsure about that guy because
he's kind of been up and down, hasn't he, Jardim?
Yeah, the Darren, who's the hidden third member of free midfield, he's loved Jardim for years and he's always shouted him out. But that thing about he had a young team, he did great things with them, but then after that he collapsed. It's like he went on a downward spiral as a manager. And I don't think he's ever recovered from that. So that would be very risky for me because I don't know what Jardim we're gonna get. So I don't want to say yes or no to that. I'm not sure.
What about this comment? Conte would be good. Not Kante, by the way, commentators. Fucking, that's so annoying. Conte would be good. Not for the football, but pissing off the ownership. It would be a good appointment. Jokes aside. No, that would be quality. Can you imagine him just rattling all the owners for that one season? And but like for me personally, just to quickly wrap up, we're gonna do end of season review tomorrow. So obviously in that review, we're gonna go into more detail about the actual season itself. We're gonna rate the season. We're gonna go through the old players. Well, as many players that played. So Van de Beek probably won't get a rating because he hasn't played. But we'll try to rate as many players as we possibly can. Actually, there's a few more questions. Bielsa would be interesting. I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with this, but I would love Bielsa.
I wouldn't mind him, actually.
I would love him because he's a bit of a mad bastard. But my only issue with Bielsa is, right, he's not really done well at a big club. Like, he seems like, I don't know all of his history, but from what I'm aware of, he's not really done it at a big club. Like, is it like it's perfect scenario at least? But I just love the football he plays, man. I just want to see good football at Man United again, man. They play without fear. Can you imagine Bielsa was in charge of our team? You're telling me we won't be getting better at some of these players? They actually look like half decent players. Look at the way he's got some of these Leeds players playing. But Footy Live, got coming here. Question for the panel: who's your first choice manager to play? All right, we've gone through that. Sorry, I really need to start reading the questions out. So we went for Conte. I went for Ten Hag. And Kojo went for the Sporting Lisbon guy. I don't know his name, but he's maybe sick. Big Ron saying Carlo Ancelotti. What do you reckon, boys and girls?
No,
I'll take him.
you take him.
I take
Yeah,
him
yeah,
as
yeah.
well. I'm not gonna trash
I'm
it.
a bit
I
unsure. I
wanted
feel like he's coming to the end of his powers now. I think he's still a great manager, but I don't want a guy that's now coming to the end of his powers and he's sort of like when he gets to the client side.
No, but I think this job will rejuvenate him because obviously Everton was like, you know what, let me go back to the Premier. But if United, boy, the job comes up, he'll be like, cool, I'm back in the big time. So yeah, man, I'll take it.
I like him.
He's a Champions League expert as well.
Exactly, and he's respected within the sort of footballing world. So, like, in terms of enticing players in, which we haven't really spoken about a lot, he's got that pulling power, hasn't he? Which, of course, Oli hasn't got, which is understandable. But he's for me personally, Don Carlo. I think he's another disrespected manager. He's done a brilliant job for Chelsea in particular, Real Madrid obviously as well. But for me personally, there are managers out there, man. I don't want to hear that. There's not people out there to bring Oli in. To take Ali out, but it's almost an irrelevant conversation, to be honest, because we know Ollie's not going anywhere. Just to finish off, I just kind of want to get a quick summary of everyone's thoughts of some of the guys that disappeared on the night. There's a lot of them, but in particular Bruno Fernandes. Like, I just think, what are your guys' thoughts on the whole Bruno situation? Because for me personally, I'm not worried about him, but at the same time, it is something that is kind of hacked the pressure. Like, I just don't understand what happened to him. He was like completely invisible. Like, what are you guys' thoughts on the whole situation?
No one's speaking. Okay. I think he's got the character, and I think he's got the drive, the ambition to try and do better. But right now in big games, he's just not doing it. And I can talk about similar to Pogba about sort of like when your players around you, when you're the key man, the talisman. And you're trying to do a lot, but the players around you are not doing their job. I can talk about that, but truth be told, just like Pogba sometimes, he has not done his job. That's as simple as it gets. We can talk about Liverpool. He came off the bench and scored a free kick. After that, he was okay. Goals don't make you...
This is what I've been saying, though. Performances haven't been good from Rashford and Bruno. Like, they have. Don't get me wrong, they have. But a lot of times, like, they've got assists and goals or whatnot, or sometimes, should I say, they've just done nothing for most of the game.
Well, and the thing about Rashford for me is
involved FC.
Yeah, they are, but I want him to be more impactful, though. That's the thing. I want to have Hazard. That Hazard doesn't, stats-wise, doesn't really look like a good player. But if you watch,
what's mad, yeah? This is why I say, when we say, like, are these players really that good? Are they?
I think
there's a question.
I think they're underperforming.
I feel like someone like Rashford is actually very good. The issue with him is, and I think it's partly him and partly Oli as well. When you are not, when you're not able to play a game, don't take this or do that to try and get yourself on the pitch. Exactly. Players need rest because the first
been injured for months, man.
Exactly, because the first time Ronaldo got a knee injury, we didn't see him in La Liga hardly ever. Or he played, but he gets subbed off. He took his time with his injury. He said, "No, I need to do better with my injury management," and he got on to be more impactful in the Champions League, and he went nuts. Yeah. That's obviously a different player in terms of levels, but it's body management. You as a player, and Oli as well. This is why
that's poor by everyone. I'm sorry.
Rotate. You might not have faith in Dan James as much as Rashford. You might not have faith in Matt as much as Rashford, but your boy needs to rest. It's better to maximize what he can do in a whole season by resting him, because his stats are still very good for someone that's not fit. And now he's going to go and play in the Euros.
Bro.
And he might need surgery after the Euros. That surgery, not going to lie to you, might be the best thing for his career. Have that surgery.
I hope he's out for a while as well. I hope
and rest. Relax. Please rest yourself.
Just on top of what you said there, look, how many situations, right, have you had players that aren't likely scorers to come on off the bench and have an impact? Like, you see in so many teams, Batshuayi scored the winning goal for Chelsea for the title. When they won it last under Conte, I think it was. Like Batshuayi was absolutely shocking that season, but he chucked him in when they needed a goal and he delivered. Like, Ollie's never chucked half these guys in. I know Dan James isn't a great example because he's had quite a lot of opportunities, but like even Ahmad, like he's never like there was a game against bloody Roma where we were like fucking 8-4 up, like 8-3 up, and he wasn't using any of these subs. Like it's like he fully doesn't trust them, and how are you gonna trust them if you don't give them a chance? Like Ahmad's not really had a chance to fail yet. He played against AC Milan and scored, and he hasn't played since. Twan Sabi had an absolute outstanding game against PSG, and he didn't get a game for another 6 weeks. Like, what was that about? Bailly, I know Bailly's a shit example because he's always injured, but when Bailly was fit, he was playing well, got injured, came back, and then he didn't play for about 3 months. And then randomly plays him now, and then expects him to be the same Bailly that was in January, that was top of the league. Football does not work like that. You got to understand the play, and for me personally, Ollie's mismanagement of the squad has been a massive downfall and a reason for why people like Jerry and a lot of other fan base say our squad's not that good. It's not great, as Phil said. However, if you give these guys big part roles, 20-minute cameos, they'll feel a part of the squad, and they'll actually automatically perform better because they feel like they're actually contributing to something. You've got players like Van der Beek, who hasn't played for like 3 months, randomly chucked into a game, and the fans are like, "Oh, he's fucking shit." And then the narrative is, "Oh, this is why Ollie doesn't play him." Bro, Coach, tell me a player that hasn't played in 3 months comes in out of the flipping wilderness and plays brilliant straight away. It's rare.
It's very rare,
bro.
It's rare.
20-minute cameo. I'm not saying he should be starting. 20-minute cameos, 30-minute cameos. He subs him on with 3 minutes to go. This is a guy that we've just signed who was running the Champions League for Ajax. He's not a dead baller. The guy, he scored against Real Madrid, and this was a good Real Madrid as well, not a shit Real Madrid team. He scored against Real Madrid, scored against Spurs shit, but he scored against all these big teams, Juve in the Champions League, he scored against everyone. He's not a shit player. So, and then he was the first person to score for us in open play season against Crystal Palace. After that game, we didn't see him. He comes on against Newcastle, 10 minutes on the clock, we scored 3 goals. So we don't see him afterwards. How many times has he come on and he's had an impact on the game, whether people want to give it to him or not? Don't see him the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. You can't do that to your players. Mentally, that's fucking them up. And I think for me personally, his man management of the first 11 has been fantastic. His man management of the squad has been piss poor, to be honest. And that's where he's falling short. And it's hard. It's not easy. Coach, you're a coach. You know it is. You got 17 players that all want to play. It's very difficult to keep them all happy. And he hasn't kept the other guys happy on the bench, and that is the problem. They probably don't want to play for him. Someone's put get Zidane in ASAP or Conte ASAP. I don't know about Zidane. I've always been a fan of Zidane, but I'm not sure. Last topic, David De Gea. I'm just gonna say my piece, and I'll pass it to you guys. First and foremost, the abuse he's got, I think, is absolutely embarrassing. I understand that people are frustrated that he's not saved a penalty. I understand that people are frustrated he's missed a penalty. What I would say for, first and foremost, again, I don't want to put it on Ollie, but, Stevie Wonder could have seen that David De Gea shouldn't have been in net for penalties. He made 2 substitutions for penalties. Mata and Telles was, I think, if I'm not wrong, Henderson had to come on. Henderson saved 8 penalties out of his last 20. De Gea's not saved a fucking penalty in about 5 years. And with that's not even over exaggerating as well. It's probably roughly, he probably saved 1. Like, come on, man. Like, De Gea, for me personally, I feel sorry for him because we should have scored in 120 minutes. He shouldn't be in a situation that he has to be saving penalties because the team let him down. And at the end of the day, they've just scapegoated him, haven't they, basically? All the rest of the players have done fuck all the whole 120 minutes, and then they blamed De Gea at the end. Not the players, but everyone's blaming De Gea now because he was the reason we lost the game. But he wasn't the reason that we lost the game. The reason we lost the game is because we had no pair of balls, i.e. the manager. Some of the players didn't take risks, and also we fucking playing sideways, and there was no ambition, there was no desire apart from McTominay to actually make a difference in the game. So I'll pass it to you guys. Yusuf, will come to you first. What are your thoughts on the De Gea situation? Do you think this is it for De Gea? Is that his last game?
Yeah, something tells me it kind of is, and that would be such a sad way to go out. I've always been a big David De Gea fan, and I feel that would be such an unjust end for him. I think Solskjaer has decided that Henderson is his number 1 goalkeeper. Well, people will say, well, then why did he start? I think that he started him, I think for different reasons. I just think that you wouldn't bench him in the Premier League, just to give Henderson. I know that he was away for personal reasons and sort of Henderson had to play. But I just kind of feel as if Ollie's he succumbed to the pressure from the media, from Henderson. And whilst I think Henderson is obviously a good young goalkeeper, it remains to be seen Whether he will be sort of ready, and I suppose until he's given a long run in the team, we won't know that answer for sure. But I think that it's just the classic thing of fans of now. Well, not all fans. I don't know what you guys think of David De Gea, but I think that because he's done such big wages, it will be difficult. I know that I think Jose has asked for David De Gea on loan, but I think Romano said, yeah, for number one, his first choice. But Romano said that they can't afford his wages.
There's no way we should loan him. You have to sell him, man. We need to get
I know. But Romano said that he's what's he on? Does anybody know how much his wages are right now?
400 grand, I think. 350.
Okay, yes. I mean, no one in the world is gonna. And I mean, I heard someone the other day saying they want PSG could be after him, but I mean, Keylor Navas is a great keeper, so I mean they don't need a keeper.
Navas is very good, yeah.
I mean, I'd take Navas if the one is swap.
Yeah, no. Do you remember when we had the swap deal then? And did you hear the story that he cried?
Yeah. Navas cried.
Navas cried when he found out that he was getting included in the deal. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
That's how far we.
Oh, that was at Real Madrid, isn't it? Yeah.
Real Madrid, you remember? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry. On the hair though. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I think that it's both. Ollie's in a situation where I think he's admitted that Henderson asks him all the time about. I don't know if you've read this, but he's basically complains a lot to Ollie. Ollie said it in a very sort of politically correct way, but he lets it know that he's unhappy when he was not playing, if that makes sense, right? He doesn't just sit quietly and accepts it. Like Van der Beek, for example, he doesn't strike me as the kind of guy. He's probably not knocking on his door, is he? Why am I not playing? Or he's probably biding his time. And with the reports that I read today that he was actually the Pogba replacement, that when Pogba was going to go, I mean that's a little bit worrying because that's not going to be enough. But
that's just embarrassing, isn't it? Fuck yeah.
No, exactly. And that was a tier 1 source saying that as well. I think it was a tier 1 source. I think Paul Hurst is quite credible. So
Van der Beek's meant to replace Pogba,
Or I think it was a misleading report. I think it was meant to be 2 midfielders they were meant to buy, but he was the first part of the jigsaw.
To be honest, it's probably accurate. I wouldn't be surprised in it. I wouldn't be surprised. Jerry, what are your thoughts on the De Gea situation? Also, Donnarumma, you heard me say the other day, I would take Donnarumma. It's looking better now, isn't it? It's looking a better option.
Listen, I'm on the bus, so if you have it, TFL.
Right, Jerry, we'll come back to
okay, cool. Give me like 2 minutes, I'll be off anyway.
All right, see you soon. Right, Cody, what do you reckon? The situation, obviously, in Donnarumma, do you think we're not going to get Donnarumma? I don't know about they're asking, but is that something you'd be looking at?
Oh, I'd definitely be looking at that. I actually don't think it'd be bad to loan out De Gea. At this point, look, we signed him for 18, almost 20 million pounds, and to be honest, he's maxed out that. He's paid that.
Oh yeah, he's completely paid it back.
But if he was to go, and his contract run out, and he was to go on a free, I actually wouldn't be upset at that. I'd be like, you know what? We had him for a good amount of years, 10 years now at the club. Yeah, he's won Premier League. He's won everything apart from Champions League. If we're being real, like he's done his thing. So really and truly, he's paid us back tenfold. There was a time when he was the best goalkeeper in the world. A period when he won for the Man United player, 4 years running. Like he's been sensational for us. And players go through declines, and it happens. If he was to go away on loan, maybe be in Spain, doesn't have to be a huge club like a
Villarreal.
Could be a Villarreal. It could be Valencia. Could be anyone. Basically, somewhere that gets him closer to home, closer to the family, and closer to his wife and his kid, if they are still in Spain. Yeah, something like that wouldn't upset me, because I'm not gonna lie to you. Look, people have questions about Donnarumma. What they tend to forget is Donnarumma is not even 22 yet. He started.
He's so young.
He started at 16 in the first league.
Exactly.
He's been out here, and he's helped AC Milan get back into the Champions League.
Bro, he's a free. Do people understand?
There you go. He's free right now. I would genuinely take him, give him a nice contract.
He could be the next coach. He could be next.
Yeah, because I've said
you got to deal with Raiola though. Again.
Oh, yeah, that's a fucking it.
Sorry, no, I was going to say his agent is Raiola. That's the only bad thing.
No, his agent is Raiola, but Man United, whether they like it or not, are going to keep doing deals with Raiola anyway, because Raiola can.
We have got choice. Raiola has all the best players in the world, man.
That's how he goes, and if it's not him, it'll be Jorge Mendes. It'll be someone that they don't want to deal with, but they're going to have to deal with, because if you want to make a statement, you have to go to these players who are making statements, and their own agents are some of the biggest names in this business. So that's as simple as it gets for me. Donnarumma on a 5-year deal, I think would be beautiful. It's a
free, man. I think we're missing it.
And thing about Dean Henderson is, I'm gonna say this right now, and I hope it comes back to bite me in the arse. But I feel like right now he smells of Joe Hart, and what I say by that is Joe Hart had a spell where he was good and became really good, and then he got found out real quick. And I feel that Henderson's got a bit about him because he hasn't been terrible this season, but towards the end he started to have a little bit of a wobble. And that's not me saying a wobble means now look the other way. What it means is bringing a goalkeeper of standing that he looks at and says, "Oh shit! If I'm not on my game, I ain't benching Donnarumma. I
think we're fucking up if we don't get Donnarumma. I really do. Like, I don't think Henderson's a guy. Like, I think he's got the ability to be, good, and there's a lot of positives about him. As I've said, he's done commanding of the box, and that's something that's actually helped us quite a lot. I know he's. I think when he came in, when De Gea was away, he helped us through a very difficult passage because we were conceding a lot of set pieces, and we started to concede less because he was coming out sometimes a bit too recklessly coming out, and he helped us. But I don't know, man. For me personally, I think if we don't get Donnarumma, it's gonna be another one of them. Like, what we do? Like, it's a smart business. You can't lose out on that. You can't lose out on that deal. You can't lose out.
He's going Juventus, by the way. So let's forget about Donnarumma.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, they're trying to sell Chesney as well. That's smart business. Make money in your goalkeeper and then bring in the top one for free.
But this is business. But this is what I mean. We don't do smart business. Juve love a freebie as well, don't they? Juve.
I'm not gonna lie to you though. It wouldn't surprise me if out of nowhere he ended up at Barcelona because they're trying to sell a load of players.
They've gone for Depay back as well, haven't they?
Yep, Depay,
all free.
They're trying to sell Ter Stegen and all these guys because they need to make money. And if you sell Ter Stegen and Donnarumma's free, and you got to keep him for the next 10 years potentially,
you
ain't got a problem. So
Barca are a really badly run club at the moment, but they've done some smart business. They got Wijnaldum on a free. Obviously, they got Aguero. I think that was a free as well. Right?
That's a free as well, yep. And
and then obviously Depay is a free. That's not confirmed yet, but it will be. If they get Donnarumma as well, they've done good business there. Really, that's 4 players, all free, bro. Can you imagine that? And actually, top quality players as well. So fair play to them. But listen, we're gonna wrap the video there. Just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has watched.
Wait. Let me get my AirPods, bro.
Oh, sorry. Apologies, go on.
Listen, I'm just saying. You see, Oli, going back to Oli, the pussy of Oli. Sorry to swear, but he got even lucky that De Gea obviously done his thing with his wife and got a kid. Because if he didn't go away, when was he gonna make that switch between Henderson and De Gea? I think the fella plays like nicely, because I don't think he would have, did the switch because he's too nice.
Oh, no chance, bro.
Yeah,
Ali's a coward, bro, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, he is. I can't even lie, he is. So for me, if is Dean Henderson the goalkeeper to win us the league? I don't know, man. Because bro. And then De Gea staying, maybe he's past his best. Because if De Gea does leave, so what? We got Henderson and Tom Heaton. Nah, bro.
I'll sell De Gea, man. 25 M's. And you can, flip and put it to another player. Actually, before we do go, because I'm not going to ask you this at any other point, a lot of people are raving about Pau Torres because obviously he was, he had a good game, so to speak. What did you guys? What have you guys made of him? Like, just quickly before we go.
I like his stature. He's a big, tall lad. Good in the air. Good reading of the game. If we get him as our centre back, I'll be kind of satisfied with that still.
What do you reckon, boys?
I echo that. There's something I can add to that. I actually do echo that because I was a bit unsure about him at first, but keeping an eye on him in the last couple of La Liga games in the final, I was very, very impressed. He wouldn't be a bad signing at all. All
right, fair enough. You still got anything to add to that?
I agree with
both. Mark too. So anyone not
disagree with that comment. Sorry, Ron, but disagree with that.
All right, fair enough.
I agree with both Jerry and Kojo, but for me, he's not the centre back that I want at my club now. I agree with what they're saying. I want Marquinhos. He's the only defender I want.
Oh, that would be beautiful. Oh
Marquinhos.
He's the leader that we need in our team.
How are we
I
gonna get
guarantee-
Marquinhos?
No, I'm just saying. I know. I'm
Right,
just saying
right.
that's my dream. That's who I would.
Yeah.
if I had
My dream would have been Sergio Ramos 5 years ago, but we live in hope.
Just for me, Marquinhos just ticks every box for me.
Yeah, and he's a leader as well. He's a
He
leader
can
of
score
men.
headers as well. The flipping bro. Like our
We
guys
need that.
do.
We need that. I'm not saying we need passion merchants. I'm not saying that, but I think we need that mentality of.
Nah,
I just
these
think
guys,
in
he's
the
hungry to win, man.
yeah, exactly that. That's exactly what I wanted to say. Yeah, hungry. Yeah.
They got that desire to be successful, man. Like Ronaldo-esque and that. But yeah, all I do know is just to wrap it is fuck me. I don't want to see Lindelof play for Man United again. Anyways, it's been your boy Usmaan. We'll wrap it there. We're gonna be back tomorrow at 7:00 with the season review. We're gonna go through as many players as possible, rate them their season out of 10. Hopefully, we can get a couple of guys on. Obviously, we don't know who's available. But that aside, if you are new, make sure you subscribe to the channel, drop a like, all that good stuff. It's been your boy Usmaan. The guy said it's gonna be like therapy for me, and to be fair, I do feel a bit better, but it is what it is.